I'm Cassandra Hearn, a top divorce litigator in California. I have a passion for educating you through your own divorce process. I've taken the toughest of divorce cases to trial, including everything from divorces worth millions of dollars to serious child abuse cases to cases where spouses have turned to wage war against each other. Over the past 15 years of litigation experience, I have seen all of the highs and lows that come with making your way through a divorce. I created this podcast to help you gain insight and get into the right mindset so you can do a divorce by yourself and to help you make all the right decisions along the way. Whether you're just thinking about divorce or are right in the middle of one, if you're looking for information, tools, inspiration, and a community to help you through it, you're in the right place. Welcome to the podcast, where I will be sharing with you all of my divorce secrets. Today, we're starting a 3-part series answering the question, what are the first steps towards divorce? Today's topic is all about recognizing the signs and making the decision that it's time to divorce. Next time, we'll talk about the next step, which is emotionally and practically preparing yourself for divorce. And finally, the third part will be all about discussing preparing for filing and getting your divorce filed. So let's dig in first with recognizing the signs and making the decision. Recognizing the signs that you may be ready for a divorce is an incredibly personal introspection and question to ask yourself. But I have a few tips about how to think about it. If you're already wondering, you may already be getting to that point. So what are some of the thoughts to contemplate? You can ask any one of my friends. Emotions probably aren't my strongest point as a tough litigator, but I'm going to give you some concepts here that should give you the ability to stop and think after you watch this video to say, hey, am I experiencing some of these things? These are some of the top reasons why people do find themselves on the road towards divorce. And should I be on that road too? As a divorce attorney, I can give you some tips on things to look for to help you personally determine if what you're feeling is the type of emotion that leads most people towards the decision to divorce. I'm going to move through these fairly swiftly because I'm giving you an idea, but you are the one who's having the experience. So think about these topics and consider them for yourself in determining whether or not you are really getting to the point of wanting a divorce. First, happiness or the lack thereof. If you find yourself every day or frequently enough feeling truly unhappy with your partner, truly unhappy in your living situation, and there just isn't a way through that you can see or that you can carve out for yourself, you may be finding yourself soon on the road to divorce. Right behind unhappiness is a lack of communication. Communication is key in any relationship. If you find yourself in your marital relationship struggling to communicate and not just speaking with each other, but truly understanding each other and breaking through on difficult topics or difficult points of discussion to something better versus going down towards something worse where you have an even worse breakdown or you're simply unable to communicate entirely, you may be finding yourself really seriously contemplating whether this is the person that you can continue to make a life together with. Another big one to think about is emotional distancing. If you find that you are growing farther and farther apart from each other on the emotional level, and there's no relatability, you may be finding yourself heading towards a divorce if that road cannot be changed. Here's another big one: loss of trust. If you feel you can no longer trust your partner, no matter what the cause of the breach originally was, you may again be considering whether or not this bridge can actually be repaired. A loss of trust can be a significant obstacle for any couple. And quite frankly, sometimes that trust can just never be recuperated. Finally, I want to talk a little bit about constant conflict. Now, any rate of conflict between two parties is natural and it can actually be good. Conflict can be the thing that stretches us to grow and stretches us to think differently about the topics that arise in our lives. But if you're in constant conflict, where there is no respite, there's no break from it, you're just literally living in a day to day battle, you may be finding yourself preparing for a divorce sooner rather than later. With all of these concepts in mind, what's the next step towards divorce? Well, it's making the decision. A decision such as this is a major life impacting change. And the decision to make a divorce is one that will have a lasting impact now and throughout the rest of your entire life, not just for you, but for your entire family, whether that's the children of your marriage, if you have any, or your family members around you. Think of it this way: every holiday from here on out will be different. And maybe different is better, but it's certainly worth contemplating. Everything will change once you decide to move forward with a divorce. So the decision to do so, when you're evaluating all of those other emotional and problematic terms that we just discussed, if you culminate your decision in, yes, I need to move forward with a divorce, you must understand that decision's impact before you take it. How do you make such a major decision and feel confident in knowing that this particular decision is the right decision for you? Like any big decision in life, you'll need to truly answer that question for yourself. But it makes sense to try to employ tools first to help you make that decision wisely. What kind of tools should you think about or potentially use? Why not start first with individual counseling or couples counseling? Either one of these tools can be a magic wand in your decision making process. A sounding board and someone who understands the impact of the decision making that you're going through can be a major relief and a beacon of light for you in this difficult decision to make. Additionally, you can rely on those around you who are closest to you. Create a support group of people who love you and care for you. If you don't already have that, go for it. Now is the time before you embark on a major life changing decision. Circle yourself with friends and family members who are most supportive and who can assist you with making your decision. Ultimately, the decision is still yours and yours alone to make. But getting things off of your chest, talking your ideas through, explaining your position, and really resounding off of others to help you make your decision is worth more than its weight in gold. I want to throw one last little lifeline out there for you. I've discussed how big of a decision this is, but there is a chance. And that chance is this: if you decide to divorce, and if you decide to move forward with it, and if you prepare yourself for the divorce, both emotionally and practically, and you get ready to file and you file your divorce, and you serve your divorce, and you're moving forward in court with your divorce, that last little lifeline that's out there is this: know that the state of California wants you to actually save your marriage if possible. And this means that throughout your divorce case, the state or your judge in your case is going to give you the opportunity a few times to try to save your marriage if you want to. So, if you're making your decision about whether or not you want to divorce and you're really unsure, but there's something nagging at you and you just feel like you can't move forward with your life until you've moved out of your relationship, Just know that there is the opportunity to save your relationship later, even in your divorce case, if your spouse wants to save it too. The family court will give you the opportunity to cancel your case and dismiss the whole thing if both of you agree and decide before the case is over that you want to save your relationship. The court will also give you more time to try to figure that out if you ask for it. And finally, if you're able to save your relationship even during the process of a divorce, the court can offer you other tools and resources to help you move back into your relationship and have a long term successful marriage after all. So, I say all this not to confuse you even more, but to let you know that at the very beginning, when you are looking for the signs to say, hey, am I headed really towards a divorce here? And you look at all those signs, and now you're at the decision making phase. Keep in mind on your back burner that if things actually do work out, but it's not until after you've filed for your divorce, it's okay. You have the opportunity to stop your divorce and save your marriage. So, with all of this in mind, if you've contemplated the signs and you're ready to make a decision, tune in next time where we'll be talking about how to emotionally prepare now that you've made your decision and how to practically prepare as well. See you next time.